For Press Pass Latino, I'm Daisy Calavia Robertson, and today we're chatting with Latino comedian Gabriel Iglesias. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. Everybody's giving me a lot of coffee, a lot of food, a lot of drinks. As soon as I got here last night, there was a mojito kit set up in my hotel room. And then it's just been boom, New York. We've been all over Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Laredo, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Chicago,
And that being said, do you see yourself doing this again?
You know what? I'd be lying if I said I was enjoying myself. It is hard work. I give actors a lot of credit, especially when they got to promote their projects. But I'm very passionate about this one. This is me. This is not a regular movie. It's what I've been doing for the last 17 years. So, yes, I'm going to go balls out. I'm going to make sure that I do everything possible. So over the last couple of weeks, ha mejorado el español. And I noticed that when I speak it like that, it comes out much better. Put a little accent to it because, I think in English. And so for me to take my regular speaking voice and convert it to Spanish, it's, hago las palabras y no salen, si I gotta think. Pero si estoy hablando en esta manera, cuando puedo tomar mi tiempo y tal vez, when I talk like that, it comes out right, and I sound way hotter.
Yeah,
I sound way hotter. Yeah, you talk with the hands. No.
If you could go on tour with any Latino comedian, George Lopez or Paul Rodriguez?
Paul Rodriguez. I've known Paul for many, many years, and actually I met Paul over 20 years ago. We had the same teacher in college.
Wow, coincidence.
And it was funny that I got to meet him, and when I first met him, I says, "Hey man," I'm a big fan. I want to follow in your footsteps. And he was like, "You know what? You're a big guy. You make your own footsteps. You'll be all right, hombre. You keep eating. You keep doing the fluffy thing." And, later on in life, I got to hook up with him again and talk comedy. And then, of course, then I get to this point, and now it's like to be able to hang out with one of your idols. I've been to Paul's house many times, and he's got a maid that makes amazing cornbread. He's got his own cornfield in the backyard.
Oh wow!
Yeah, no, it's Mexicano. Yeah, all the way. I got my own elotes right here, organic. And so the maid will make cornbread, and I've hung out in his pool, and he tells people, "No, Fluffy's been here. He peed in there."
If you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Approachable, funny guy.
Are there any up-and-coming Latino comedians that you think the media should keep an eye on?
Rick Gutierrez, Gina Brion, Jerry Rocha, Alfred Robles, Martin Moreno. Let me see. There's a funny kid out in LA. His name is Dylan Garcia. He's very young. Reminds me a lot of myself when I was young. Still a little green around the ears, but he's very funny. A lot of promise.
Where was the point where you realized that you made it?
I still haven't made it. And I will never say that I've made it. You'll never hear those words come out of my mouth because I think once you say it, you're done.
Now that you said that your Spanish is improving, do you see yourself doing any comedy in Spanish?
I think I might have to. And it's one of those things where I'm such a hypocrite because, in the beginning I used to say, I don't like traveling. I don't want to leave the Southwest. Next thing I know, I'm in Minnesota. Next thing I know, I'm on the East Coast. And I'm like, okay, I'll never fly. I'll never travel out of the U.S. I want to stay in America. This is where my comedy belongs. Next thing I know, I'm in Canada. I'm in Australia. I'm in Europe. I'm like, okay, this is it. But I'm not going to go anywhere else. Now I'm in freaking the Middle East. I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it. No more. And so I just find myself like, okay, just when I think I'm done, okay, no, all right, I'll give it a shot then.
Gabriel, you've done thousands of interviews, and I was wondering, what would you like people to know about you? Like, the most important thing, if they can come away with one thing from you and from your show, what is it?
I'm flawed. I'm a flawed person. I have bad habits like everybody else. I'm a normal person. I've got issues. I've got, good days. I've got bad days. And just because I'm an entertainer doesn't mean that I'm immune to the elements of the world. I struggle with my relationship with my girlfriend. I struggle with my relationship with my son. I struggle with just me trying to maintain my health. Food definitely has been something that's been beating me up over the years, and I can't help it. Food's good. They should have made it taste like shit, and I probably wouldn't have eaten it so much. But I'm diabetic, and I'm struggling with that. That's really, really hard for me. I don't do any drugs, but food definitely is my thing. I drink. Probably shouldn't because that's not good for you. But at the end of the night, you got to go out there and you got to make people laugh. No matter how good of a day you're having or bad of a day you're having, you got that pressure. People pay to see that show. They want you to make them feel good, and you cannot show them that you're having a bad day. So you got to suck it up and go out there. And so at the end of the night, when the laughs are gone and you're sitting in a hotel room by yourself and there's no one around you, yeah, I might hit the minibar. And then you'll see me on Twitter later on posting freaking selfies, with, hey, look at me. It's it's a glamorous life, but at the same time, there's a lot of sacrifice involved. I'm not home for birthdays. I'm not home for holidays. That's one thing I want people to know. It's like I love what I do, and I give everything up to do it. And unfortunately, sometimes I sacrifice things that hurt. I wasn't there the day that my mom passed away. I was on the road performing. I wasn't there the day they put her in the ground. I was doing a show, and I could have canceled the show, and I'm sure everyone would have forgiven it, but it was just one of those things where do I want to show up and cry and be sad, or be around people that are that I'm making feel good and laugh. And the irony is that the day that I did this show, it was a benefit for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. My mom died from leukemia, and I didn't know that.
Wow.
That was the irony to that. So I just want people to know I work very hard at what I do, and I sacrifice everything to make sure I can be the best comedian I can be.